Test. Test. Hey. Hey. I think that's just me. All right, super. I think that's just me. All right, super. All right, so I'm gonna have to adjust all that. Great. So you guys are seeing this. I'm gonna cut that out then. So I'm gonna have to adjust all that. Great. So you guys are seeing this. I'm gonna cut that out then. All right. I want to make sure. Let's get this party started. All right, that's gonna get turned down. Wow, that's the lowest it can go. Oh boy. Oh boy. Done. Okay. If anyone's in the chat, I don't think anyone is right now. But let me know if the audio's all right. we've got a decent sound. I want to make sure that the microphone's working and etc. We are heading over to our production lines over here. Yeah, I keep getting sucked into this, so that's gonna have to get adjusted. Yesterday we were working on our rotor factory, which and I'm sorry again if anyone was bummed. Well, I'm sure you wouldn't be if you hadn't seen a stream before. That you didn't hear my voice yesterday. First stream, the audio wasn't working. Apparently, OBS can't stream multiple channels, so I had my microphone set to a separate channel, but was only streaming game audio and music. So yeah, essentially, yesterday was all of our rotor and plate and rod production getting started. We were working on, yeah, that. We've got pretty much our plate and our rod done. Rotors is pretty much done, but we can make it way more efficient. Over here, just as kind of like a walkthrough of what we're doing, we have two miners here, which we are splitting out. Half of this one is going and merging in with this one. So if we had 120 coming out of these on pure nodes, we've got 120 plus 60, so 180 on this lane and 60 on this lane. Then we were working on breaking it down. So you guys know, I'm gonna widen this window just a little bit. What we've been working on is what I call like a tileable setup, or like expandable, where you make a setup that can basically process what the Mark I miner is producing ore-wise, and then from that we can expand further and be able to handle Mark II, Mark III, etc. So right now, this right here, if we ignore this setup here, this can handle everything that this could output. It's not like the prettiest when you are like inside looking at it, but it's functional. So yeah, come in here, see what the plan is. We have a few levels here we can go off of this right now. So below here is our smelters. We've got 6 of those. We've got a manifold system taking care of our ingots. Now these are all going into constructors, 12 constructors doing rods. Those rods are being split. A portion of them are going into, a portion of them, 80 actually, are going directly up into rotor production, and then 100 are going to be produced into screws. That's being done down here. The last constructor here is outputting into this splitter, and that's splitting it 3 ways. So 10 of the 15 are going into the combination of all of these. 5 of the 15 are getting looped back in to combine with the rest of those constructors. So 5 times 15 is 75, plus 5 is 80, and then the 10 plus, I believe that's 90 here with these 6, is 100. And that goes up into the top here. Check that out. This was the start. I was trying to get this totally done, so all we have to do is upgrade the miner and we're done. So this is our screw production. We have our screws being split through 10 constructors, 5 going north, 5 going south, and being merged up into our production lines at the top for our assemblers. go on up there, we can check out how that's all set up. It's, again, one of those things that's like not super pretty, but definitely functional. So let's actually go right here. On this end, we have screws coming in from the north side, or the south side, and that gets split between this assembler and this one. And then the other screws are coming in. You can just see them there. Coming in the other side, getting split between these two. Yeah. So we've got rotors being produced. It's actually not that bad. We've got 16 rotors per minute. And this is going to be producing a lot more than I originally thought. But it's going to be worth it. All of the excess is being sunk, so anything that's not being used is being used some way or another. All right. Yeah, so eventually this is going to be upgraded here to Mark II, and then when I get Mark III unlocked, I'll upgrade them again. Okie dokie smoky. So we were working on getting all of our... what I didn't mention, which there's nobody on the stream, but those watching it back would see we are getting... We've got all of the infrastructure, well, all the logistics and all of our buildings for the remaining 3 sections of rotor production complete. All of those being merged into the singular line going down. 16 times 3, 64 per minute. That's all going to be pushed down. It's all on Mark IIs. So, yeah, there's that. And then we were heading down one level to get the screws started. We had this section done, and we were going to start on this section. And yeah, so that's kind of the goal today, is to get all of that completed. I had almost had it correct. So for these, the input is basically the output is facing that way. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right there. Excellent. And then this is doing the same. Output. You want that like so. Alright. So then we have rods coming up, merging into all of this. Alright. We'll build that out. Welcome to the stream. We're working on rotor production here. It's a bit of a schlep right now. We're completing the second and third sections for our screw production for rotors. We have an overflow style system here. Everything that's being produced is going to be expanded so that we can accommodate for Mark III miners when the time comes. So all we have to do is upgrade one miner, and then it's got all of the infrastructure to handle it. So as it stands, we have a couple more sections of these constructors to build, and then we're on there. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to shout down in the chat. I've got that up on my other monitor, so I'm keeping an eye on it. And let me know how the audio is, for you can hear the music or anything like that. We're still figuring out all the streaming stuff, so hope that it's clear and you guys can see what's going on. Once we finish this, we're going to be heading over and starting to work on our modular frame, unless I get tired of this and we check out our modular frame production a little bit earlier. We'll see how we're feeling. Let's go ahead and do... Oh, for reference, we have just unlocked everything up to tier 4. We are waiting to unlock tiers 5 and 6. That is... It's going to be happening in a little bit, but as of right now, we're going to be focusing on getting our production lines done, so we can have some of our core resources being bused to our main base, and then from there we'll start to adjust as needed. We'll start to include those resources into production lines for smart plating, versatile frameworks, and the wire. Can't remember what it's called. Yeah. All right. So we're going to split this up. It's all coming in from this side here. Put it there. Like I said, if you guys have any questions or thoughts, or if I mess something up, let me know. We are playing vanilla. So if you have any suggestions on that, this is rod. Oh wait, no, these are screws. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 to there. All right. Part of the reason that I like to do this system where I kind of just expand on a single construction line and just duplicate it is it's simple and it's quick. I'm able to just expand out very quickly from all of the different things that I'm going to need. So with this, I can just kind of copy and paste essentially all of the previous work that I had done. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's in there. And then this goes out the other direction. Yeah. 2, 3. All of these are 40 per minute, so it's going to be Mark 1 belts going into the mergers here. And we're just hanging out. I really don't have any specific plans or expectations for this. It's mostly just to enjoy, have some company if I end up having company. So we'll see how that ends up going. Yeah, we've got so 40 and 40s, 80, Mark II. Plus 40s 120, Mark II is fine. Plus 40s 160, upgraded to Mark III, and finally Mark III. And we've got a splitter coming in that way and expanding out that way. Got our manifold style system here. We're just going to do the same thing. What's nice is you can restrict the power consumption of this whole system essentially by not giving power to the oh, let's make sure that I did made all these into screws. can restrict the power consumption by basically not giving it any ore. It can all be plugged into the same network, but not drawing any power. It's through the fairly complicated process, I guess, of something or other. Still working through my morning coffee, so we'll see where things go from there. I'm considering, and I don't know how this would work, I'm considering joining like a Discord chat in stream because it's so small right now. That way people could watch or could chat with me directly, comment on all the stuff I'm doing. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, let me know. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool. So I can just look at the participants. Nice. And then is there a way to like pop out? Pop out chat. Hey, there it is. Live chat. Cool. That's pretty neat. I can see who's participating. Cool. Wondering if there's there we go. Alright, so now I've got chat here. And I don't have to be watching it all the time. Got participants here. And I mean it says there's 3 watching, 2 watching. But I don't see anyone in the participants, which means I think that's just me a few times. I think if I close that, then I'm gonna drop these chats, so. Alright. That's all that's set up. Screws. Okay. We're just gonna chill and do this. And if someone joins chat, we'll chat. One, two, 4. 5. 6. 7. All right, cable time. Hmm. Get more cable. I'm always running out of cable. This area here. Yesterday I'm realizing that I had stopped and was showing you guys a lot of stuff that you couldn't hear me talking about. So this was essentially I was trying to avoid clipping there. I know I've got one assembler that's up there that clips through that thing, but looking from the outside, it looks like everything is cleared. So that was kind of the goal by removing those two. We'll see if that works in the long run. All right. All right. Let's do this one. And yes, I'm going to get that slug in just a second. It's starting to annoy me. Q. Yeah, we're right up there with power. So. Yeah, we're good. that going. Although, I think something that I should be doing. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. I guess I'll have to jump in again somehow. And that's should be Mark 3, right? Yeah, both of these should be Mark 3. Mark 3 between them. Cool. We'll be more concrete in a second. Mark 2. Mark 2. All right. Mark 3. All right. That's all that done. Oh. All right. First things first. Input on that side. Three. Six. Yeah, for anyone who happens to watch this after the fact, which I highly doubt but would appreciate, I didn't know how participants worked. So I've got the participants tab open now, so I can actually welcome specific people, and not just like randomly assume that there are people watching when there aren't. Good times, good times. Good times. We're gonna do a similar thing with the power for this. I'm gonna take part of it here. And yeah, those merge all the way down. Alright, cool. might have been lost without these little blue lines. Alright, these are rods. Got belts, belts. This is an output of 15, 30, 45. 60. And then this goes into this mess. I'm gonna do that later. Alright, and then we've got splitters. Well, let's just go ahead and finish up the mergers here. $15.30, $15.45, $15.60. Finished. $30, $45, $60. All right, cool. Iron rod. Okay. We're doing splitters. Then put on the side there. Same thing, so 15, 30, 45, 60. Why is it a Mark III lift? It can be a Mark II lift. Neat. All right. So we did. Yeah. Okay. $30, $45, $60. and then things get a little bit complicated. I should probably just do the other constructors down there. And then change it up. I'm going to go ahead and open up my windows right now. The sun has finally come up, and I'll let some light in. Real quickly, these this is my other. These are my other starter base production lines. The concrete is not expandable. This was just kind of set it and forget it style, so it's producing some, not a lot, for huge builds. Pulling a lot of concrete out of this is not like efficient, but it is fine. This is copper coming off of one pure node. It's currently producing, it's 120 wire, 60 cable, and 60 copper sheets per minute. It's sufficient. It gets the job done, especially right now. There's not a lot of building that needs to be done, so it's fine. And then this section over here is producing reinforced iron plate. Yeah, so it's also doing just fine. Once I'm out of resources here, I'm going to be deconstructing this section here, which was my original iron production facility. It's a one pure node that was supplying iron ore for rods, plates, rotors, and reinforced plate. So now that we've got rotors and reinforced plate being produced elsewhere, we can start to destroy that. I'm planning on having all of these finished and then the outputs set. So right now I've got the outputs on the bottom here. You saw me grab the wire from there. The outputs here set in that corner. The output for this one has not been set yet. The output for this one has been set. Like, once all of this is done and I have modular frames done and going, then I'm gonna direct all of the outputs into a storage area just right here. And that will be like at the end. And that way I can just go pick it up right there. I can come through the hypertube and pick that stuff up and be done with it. This is a really fantastic area, especially for early game, mostly because there's 6 pure nodes right on top of each other. We've got one here, 2, 3, 4 there, 5, 6 here. So it's really great. We've got 2 or 3, 1, 2, 3 limestone deposits and copper node. So it's like it's a fantastic little area for the starter game, starter base. Yeah. So the thing that I'm doing with this, where I'm just building out the rest of our production lines to accommodate for Mark III, I did not do with copper. So I would have to duplicate all of this once more. So in order to get the max production going on that, I have lanes and everything set up. So by the time I have 240 wire being produced per minute, I'll be able to sync 240 wire because I've got Mark IV or Mark III belts. And then it would be 120 of the wire and 120 copper per minute that I would need to sync as well. That also could be accommodated by the current limit for us. There's some people who would say, oh, well, why don't you just load balance? Like, that works just as well, blah, blah, blah. Load balancing takes up too much space. And in order to load balance production lines like this would be way too much work for the output that I need. So don't like the space, I don't like the work. I have enough to do already. Production lines like this, where you've got huge stacks of things, I like the idea of enclosing it. Makes it a little bit easier to deal with the gross nature of how these things break down. They don't really look that great. And we're slowly kind of developing the process. So the first one that I did was this one, and you can tell it's just a little bit shenanigy. There's a lot going on in there. It's not terribly pretty, but it's compact AF. So we're happy with that. This was the second one that I did. We got a little bit more structure going on. It's a little bit clearer how everything is broken down, but similar in that I wasn't really looking at the long run. I was looking fairly short term with that one. This one, I was trying to get some long term goals in place. Also, a little bit of make it look good with some of the supports that I've got built up in here. And we'll see how that ends up. I'm sure that by the time I start modular frames and get that going, it's going to be a similar situation where I'll have learned something from these, and we'll continue learning more as time goes on. When I think about it, I'm going to write down video ideas. So we're back in my notes section for this. I'm gonna make a quick list. We're gonna do video ideas for modular expandable production lines. Video ideas. I wish there was a way to stream my iPad. That would be nice. So then I could give you guys an idea of what I'm seeing. Because I'm confident that no one's going to watch this. Work for me starts up again soon. I work in the entertainment industry right now for Netflix and WBTV. And so the show that I'm working on is starting up within the next couple of weeks or so. So really happy about that, but not so happy that I won't have as much time for Satisfactory. Tears wept. Also, could be happier that the weather is super hot right now. Right now our forecast is highs of 110 for the next week or so, which isn't terribly exciting. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. But yeah. I'm excited for work to start again, but not like super stoked. Um, I've been happier, but it's gonna be fine. I'm interested to see how everything is going to break down work wise, because with all the pandemic stuff going on, my job description has changed just a little bit. In so much that I need to start accommodating safety precautions and whatnot, for COVID measures. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting deal in that regard. I'm doing a splitter on every single one here because it needs to split off to continue vertically. That's just the necessity of the manifold style. There's so many videos out there, man. Like, so many videos. And they cover just so many different topics. I mean, Total Eclipse, Kibitz, Drawing Chaos. You got a ton of YouTubers out there who are covering just a ton of the content that this game has to offer. I'm not looking to be a major big time streamer. I just enjoy the idea of being involved in the community in some way. And so for me, that's kind of sharing what I'm working on and the things that are going through my mind as far as my process goes. My unique build style, and the random ideas that I have. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. I reached out to the community with a couple of my builds that were going under the map, and it wasn't really well received. But it was helpful for me. There's some other stuff that I've been going through, so it's been helpful to have some pushback. Having a little bit of a challenge being put towards me is good. So I am yeah, this world here was kind of the answer to that question that I asked myself. If you've watched the first video on my channel, which you probably have if you're watching this at all, you'll know this is that same world, by the way. This is the world where I'm trying to do my best as far as not hacking or cheating or doing any of the unintended kind of things that the game does. So not going under the world. I'm not freezing any values. I'm not I'm not using mods. The one thing that I do have unlocked is this throughput counter. It's just the mod that was attached to this game file or whatever. I don't know how to remove it. I didn't start the game with the intention of using it. I won't use it throughout the game. It's all going to be math in my head. So I need to remove that, replace it. But yeah, so we have, I believe it's a Mark III lift. Yeah. So coming in here is Mark III, producing rods. And a Mark III belts. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna Mark III all the way over to the end here. This one's Mark II, and that's fine. But yeah, I did the same thing. So, alright, and then we will make sure all these are producing rods. I also don't know what kind of music to use. If any of you guys have suggestions, of some copyright-free music. Or you know what? Even if it's copywritten, I don't mind. I don't mind the ads. I don't mind them claiming it. Like, give them the revenue. That's fine. This isn't for that. The focus of this is not to receive revenue. I'm completely content, one way or another. Alright, so I did do that. Oh, wait, did I? Yeah, okay. Neat. Alright, cool. Alright, so we've got our inputs. Now we're going to get our outputs all taken care of. Alright. So first thing is the splitter. So the splitter is, gosh, that's weird. Alright, so it's kind of lined up with the back end of these, so I guess that would be like here. Yeah, here. And then it's in right there. That looks about right. We've got a merger that's outputting that way there, and a merger that's outputting that way there. Cool, let's do this again. Cool. Yep. All right. And then we've got this one. Ooh, before I do that, I've got to make sure that I'm building the right stuff. So we want to have merger there. Swell. I mean, and this is why, this exactly right here is why I do this method, because the scalability of it is just insane. It's so easy to scale up without too much problem. Give me 1 second. All right, my mic filter, pop filter, had fallen off, but we've got it back now. Yeah, I mean, the scalability is just insane. It's so easy to replicate the balancing that I need to do to accommodate the production lines, because it's just there and done, and it's just super straightforward and doesn't take a lot of like mental effort to do. You figure it out once and then you're done, which is something that I really like. All right, and we're gonna merge everything together now. And we're getting really, really close to being done with the rotors, which is fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted to have today. All right, so we've got 30, 45, 60, a little bit extra. So this needs to be Mark II. And this is Mark II, correct? Mark II, Mark II. Okay. Let's do it again. Whoa, there's the save. How very interesting. Why aren't you letting me... Ah, there it is. 2, and then upgrade these. That's Mark II. Okay, cool. Next. Oh, mama. Alright, that's everything there. I'm going to go ahead and get the power set done for this. It is clipping. I was kind of hoping that it wasn't, but... Yellow across the board. Eventually, hopefully, we'll say green across the board. But until we've got Mark III miners, we're not going to deal with that. You know what I just realized? Is Kibit's YouTube channel Kibits because kilobits per second? It's like Kibits? I don't know. I'm curious to see what his what the start of his YouTube channel, like what the impetus for that name was. All right, so we're gonna go up here. I'm gonna finish this up. Man, I'm really not used to having like 32 frames. That's pretty bad, to be totally honest with you. I thought I had prioritized some stuff video. Oh, that's right. I could drop a lot of this. I'm waiting for those 300 through 3000 series cards to start coming out. I'm very interested in what pricing on those is going to look like. All right. This is going here. Merger swell. Mark II. And then Mark I. We're going to come on down here. Connect those up. Swell and dandy. Alright. Then. Wait, did I? Oh gosh, really? Super. Alright, cool. So. I don't know why I didn't do that originally, but oh well. That's Mark II. Oh wait. This actually needs to be... So a little trick that I learned. You can just ignore that stuff to make sure that the lifts are going the right way. So that's usually what I'll do. And then Mark II. Okie dokie. And then two, Mark II. And we'll bring this up. So I needed a crap load of reinforced plate for this. Power and outputs, yay! Both of these are Mark II. Cool. And they go up. Like that. Ah, can't afford it. Let's go get some more. Ugh. Stuff so we can afford it. Wish there was a history. You could see who's signed in, who's joined, and who hasn't. Cool. And, you know, I did want to get some more of that. I'm going to go ahead and put my leaves and wood back into our production line here. Wood. Leaves. That's going to be for, yeah, okay. Seems like I'm always running out of cables, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some more of that. We're getting close. Getting very close. Right, let's finish. Make sure we finish what we started. Go up one more level. Alright, that's everything. Isn't that neat? Just kind of loops right under there. Q. Yeah, alright. It is time. Time to put in our smelters. Is that centered? I think that's how it should be, right? We've got that. Yep, right there. Alright. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Incredible. Alright, cool. Oh my god, this song. We're playing the copyright-free YouTube right now. And it definitely has some stuff that I recognize. All right, 30, 60, 60, 60, 90, 120. Cool. Let's do some splitters now. And it's the same deal. We need to, well, we're not going to do that now. Well, yeah, why not? Oh, I know why not. Because then it'll actually turn on, and I don't have the power infrastructure for that. We are right on the cusp of losing power right now. And we may be able to get away with it if we turn off everything, but it's not going to be pretty. So I'm not sure what this is doing here. Is the plan to have them in front or behind? Let's see. Definitely can't go there. It would have to go there. So I guess having it behind is fine. Line it up right with the front of this. Yeah, I mean, look at that. We're so close to the end here. Let's finish our logistics for this, and then we will delete everything else. 30, 60, 90, 180. So Mark 3, 150, Mark 3. Alright. Mark 2. Mark 1. Cool. $180, $150, $120. Oh, mamma mia. 180, 150, 120, 90, 60. And 30s, 60, 30s, 20, or 90, 120. $60, 90, 20. And we have 360. Yeah, so I need a Mark 3 is sufficient for that, but I need a Mark 4 for this one. Yeah, we'll upgrade it. Alright. Okay. Except we're not going to power all this yet. In fact, I'm going to do this. Let's see how this works out. Oh, wait. 1, 2. Oh. Yep, I'm redoing it so that they're behind. There's some things that I'm fine with, there's other things that I'm not. I really don't like clipping happening. With cables, for some reason, cables, it just really bothers me. Cool. 4? Oh, actually that works, yeah. That checks out. Alright, so these are all hooked up. And everything is pretty much ready to go. I mean, this is rotors done. I could finish up this, but that's not going to be my goal. I want to get 2 of these together, 2 Mark II miners together. Which also means that I'm going to use this time, to see if, are you my buddy? No. Are you my friend? To delete pretty much all this crap. We're gonna have a lot of excess stuff. We're gonna go ahead and start by shutting down our smelters here. Cool. It'll still remove all that, so we can start by removing some of this stuff. We're just gonna let all of the parts here, the iron ingots, process through. So like this one, totally empty. Great, I can remove it. This stuff, nothing in it, nothing in it. Great, I remove it. This still has ingots in it and stuff, so we're gonna let those continue to pull. Let's see, what do we got here? What are we being notified about today? Very good, very good, very good. Very good. Oh. Wow. Market's down. And I'm not surprised. Dropped about 5% the last couple weeks or so. All right, we need. Oh, I've got some of the stuff to make that. All right, 20 encased industrial beams, which we've got 40. Cool. We'll make some of that. Modular frames. I need 20 of them. Cool. Got enough to make 24. We will end up with 21. Which is fine. Alright, that's it. Maybe we made too many. Make one more portable miner. Convenient that I can make one more here. And, I mean, eventually this should drop. Let's see. Hey. No more coming out of there. No more coming out of there. Yeah, this is still, wow, this still has a ways to go, huh? Alright. What is that producing? Is that rods? Definitely don't need that anymore. All of these will eventually empty out. I don't think I'm going to wait for that. I think I'm just going to mass delete all that. I should be overproducing rotors by now. If I'm sinking rotors, that means one special thing. I should have a number of tickets. A good number of tickets. A very healthy number of tickets. Especially since there's 16 rotors being sunk. Yeah, 33. Let's go. Man, by the time this is multiplied by 3, that's going to be nice. This isn't particularly important, the other stuff, but at least it's not going to waste, and that's kind of the key. The key part of it all. Once all these empty, like that. That needs to be emptied. That one's done. That one's done. And those are all still working. Alright. Let's go ahead and get up there and just start deconstructing from the top down. I could just like delete it all and go from there, but just seems like, you know, a bit of a waste. Oh, I guess there were still rods in that? Surprising. It's fine, these guys are working hard. Yeah, I should start getting rid of that. While that's doing that, I'm going to figure out where I want this to be outputting. Right now it's got one output there. It should be coming down. Oh, I was going to have it go around the top, wasn't I? It's going to be on a little, what is it called? Conveyor wall mount. I was going to take it all the way here and then maybe come down into like right here or something. I think, I mean, I may be crazy, but I think that this right here is actually clear. So I could theoretically build one that like sticks in here somewhere. Or to save on postage, we could just expand this a little bit, put it over here. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, it's just too low. So we'll go to like right here. Then we'll come down, come down. We're just gonna do a storage container because this isn't my final storage anyway. Flop. Do. Yeah. That's a little clippy for me. Here, what if we did this? Top one to there. Bottom one to there. Yeah, it works. Water time. Okay. Wow. Okay, so that needs to be lifted one more time. Oh. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that I haven't really worried about that. Alright, these are each producing what? 5? 5, 10, 20, 40. So Mark 1 is actually sufficient. That's really annoying. This is only producing 40? It's producing 64. Jeez. 40 per minute is pretty slow. Whatever. Alright. We're going to go ahead and bump. We're going to get some... Alright, so it does. Well, I guess I could do that. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And we can have it come down here, so we're looking at something like that. Oh, that's right, it's got a wall, so it has to come all the way out. Oh, also, should probably just end up doing it differently anyway. We'd probably survive, but I don't want to risk it. Oh, shoot. Ah! No. No. Shoot. Okay. Swell. God, that means I have to redo the power and everything for this area. Oh, that was the dum-dum, wasn't it? That was the big dum-dum. Man. Alright. Alright. There's only one way to go from here. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it works surprisingly well. Even with those. I can't believe that it let me place that while I clipped into those. Guess there's a certain amount of clipping that they allow splitters and mergers to do, which is good. If they didn't, I don't know where I'd be. don't know where I'd be. I'm gonna check the Discord real quick. Oh. Hmm. Pardon. Cool. Ah. Oof, my bad. Alright, let's go check it out. So we should have a fair number. Yep, there it is. All going into storage. Now the per minute sync items should be going way down. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. And that's okay. Because what that means, and I'm pretty confident that it is almost done. Okay, plates is done. So we can start to remove. Rods is still finishing up. You know what? This is not going to go anywhere. We're just going to trash it. Yeah, alright, it's time. The rest of it is all going away. Being very careful not to hit any of my other infrastructure. These, because removing a lot of this stuff is dangerous, because I could end up just selecting something from like 1,000 miles away, and next thing you know, I've like deleted a huge portion of a build, and I'm up shit's creek, so to speak. I was kind of worried that I'd gotten something else in that. Right. While I'm at it, I now need to start planning. Let's get rid of this and this. And this I actually don't need to be constructing anymore, so this will also inspire me to adjust my stuff. Oh, hello. What's up? Let's go ahead and get rid of all this and all this. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I mean, I've got stuff going. It's like clockwork. At 8 a.m. I receive spam calls. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty confident why, because spam calls, but still, that's really annoying that it happens like right at that time every day. Just gonna move these over. All right. And this, I'm just gonna sync all of them. I'm gonna get a nice big spike. Ready? Let's watch it happen. Uh-huh. Up to 25,000. Pretty nifty. Alrighty. Time to do the dirty work. We need to get a plan together for how we're going to manage this modular frame factory. So I'm going to get my notes out. We're going to kind of go over everything we need for modular frame. So, modular frames are reinforced plate and rods. I believe it's 3 per minute. Well, let's go ahead and throw down an assembler here. Let's check it out. 3 per minute reinforced plate, 12 per minute iron rods. So, to accommodate that, we need 36 ingots per minute for the reinforced iron plate and 12 ingots per minute for the iron rod, which gives us a total of 48 ingots per minute for one assembler, right? So we've got 48 ingots per minute. Now, I'm going to have at my disposal 240 times 3. That's 720. So I'm going to have 720 at my disposal. And it turns out that 720 divided by 48 is perfectly divisible into 15. That's convenient. Now what if I did half of that? So 360, right? Okay, so if we did 360. Wait, what? 24. Oh, sorry. 360 divided by 48. 7.5. All right. Well, of course, because half of 15. God. Oh, math. Oh, it's so bad. Okay. Cool. So 7.5 for that, and then divided by 2. So that's 120, and that's what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have 120 at my disposal, right? So if we break it down, let's get my notes out here. So for Mark 3 miners on a pure node at 100%, it's 60 on Mark 1, or no, 120 on Mark 1, 240 on Mark 2, 480 on Mark 3. So we've got 1440 course, because that's 720 times 2. 1440 divided by 48 is 30. So we'll have 30. I'm going to do, in my notes here, I'm going to make a little additional note. And our Mark 1 numbers, Mark 2 numbers, and Mark 3 numbers. So assemblers, if it's a Mark 1 on there, is 7.5, 15 for Mark 2, and 30 for Mark 3, which is easy. I mean, you just multiply whatever Mark 1 is into 2 for Mark 2, and then again for Mark 3. For assemblers, then, if we have 7.5, that basically means we're going to multiply 3 by 7.5. Come on now, baby. So 22.5 for replate. And 12. $90 rod. And all of this is per minute. Well, wait, hold on. I need 7.5 assemblers, which means that I need 22.5 per minute replate and 90 per minute rod. Now, okay, 90 per minute divided by 15, easy. So 6 constructors for replate. Wait, no. 6 constructors for rod. And then replate 22.5. That's so annoying. That number is terrible. Alright. For reinforced iron plate. Now, depending on how things go, I may opt for this, but we'll see. The reinforced iron plate is 30 and 60. 30 plate. So I need 22.5 per minute. And this is 5 parts per minute. So, let's do 4.5 of these assemblers making reinforced plate. I need to zoom in a little bit here and adjust my notes just a little bit. I'm so sorry if I missed you guys. Bummer. I'm like looking down at my iPad. I'm missing people signing in apparently, which sucks because the last time someone did was like at 7 o'clock. Now 8 o'clock. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm not seeing in the participants either. Does it automatically refresh? Whoa. Okay. I'm so confused. I don't know how this works. So 4.5 assemblers. Because each assembler makes 5. So I need 4.5 to give me 22.5 force plate. Okay, let's just write this down. Somewhere. Anywhere. I wish it would give you like an audible notification if someone joined the stream. You know? Because right now it says that I've got 2 people in, but I don't see in participants 2 people. I mean, if there's someone who's here checking it out, right now I'm just doing math. Let me know in the comments. Shoot some chat over to me. Let me know that you're here watching. We're just kind of working through the math for my modular frame base right now, modular frame production line. So we are working that through. Just got a spam call, so I'm dealing with that. Let's listen in. I put it on speaker. Oh, you're gonna... I muted myself. I do this all the time. I'll pick up the phone, but I'll mute myself. There he goes. Every time. Seems like every day. 8 o'clock. Boom. Spam calls. Do you guys get those? Every day? At like a certain time, you're constantly getting calls from like the same area code, someone trying to spoof your area code to get you to answer the phone. Random people who are like, hey, we know who you are. Give us money. I get a lot of like random spam calls from like people being like, we're gonna fix your roof, or we're gonna do this, and we're coming over tomorrow, and be ready for us. And it's like, what? I don't even live in Illinois anymore. Which is kind of why I kept the area code that I have, so that I can avoid those spam calls. If it's not from a California area code, I know to ignore it. Super handy. All right, 4.5 assemblers. So let's do a replate assembler 4.5, and then we're doing mod assemblers 7.5. Okay. Cool. 90 rod per minute means constructors. And then rod constructor is 90 per minute, so 6. And then I'm going to select replate and move that around a little bit because I need a little bit more room to mess with that. I have to add some additional stuff in here. So we have 4.5 of these, right? Which means we need to work out 4.5 times 30. Oh god, that number sucks. That's a bad number. 135. That's terrible. We're gonna make it work though. So let's go ahead and erase this 135 plate. And let's see, is it screws 60 per minute? So 4.5 times 60, 270 is a little bit better. 270 screw, and then we get into our little constructor business. Screws 40. So that's probably really bad. Hold on. There it is. Yeah, 6.75 constructors. And then plate, 135 plate. And then I believe we're doing plate. We've got 20 per minute coming out. So 135 by 20s. Wow. Plate. Construction. 6.75. Okay, so we're getting some weird numbers. So we're getting 6 3/4 constructors for screws and plates, which means that we need to multiply this for screws. We're looking at screws, 10 per minute, so 67 iron bars per minute. That's a bit rough. That's 10. So in order to provide all the iron bars for 6 3/4, 6.75 constructors producing rods, 67.5, 4.5. That's very interesting. 67.5 divided by 15, 4.5. So then we do rod constructors. 4.5. So this is honestly a little bit gross, just the numbers involved here to get this to work. So for whomever is watching, who is curious, I am currently trying to work out how I'm going to make my expandable modular frame build here. We have 3 pure iron nodes right here. We have our expandable plate, rod, and rotor factory here. Expandable wire, cable, and sheet factory here for copper. And our expandable reinforced iron plate factory here. So the next step is modular frames. That's what we're working on. I'm trying to get that set and going. I wish that when people joined, they would like say something, or at least chat a little bit. That would be nice. But yeah, it is what it is. I thought my bit rate is a little bit higher than 2600. Yeah, it's 2700. Is that bad? I didn't think that was a bad bit rate, but I could be wrong. It's lower than the recommended. Oh, so it'll give me warnings when the bit rate drops. I don't think I can change that really. Streaming bit rate. Ah, I can. What if I did this? Does that help YouTube out? Are you happy now? Should be. Should be very happy. We just upped the bitrate a little bit. So now I should be at 3K, 3 kilobits per second. It should be good. All right. Yeah, working through modular frames and how we're going to put this all together. So I was doing a little bit of math to figure out how I wanted to do it. With the other kind of, I guess it would be modular, expandable production lines here, it was all pretty straightforward. I could do some fairly even numbers, and breaking it down was easy. Because I have the 3 nodes here, for some reason, the numbers are a little bit nasty. And so having to deal with that is getting a little bit rough. Right now I have, oh, I guess that crashed. Right now I'm looking at like 4.5 assemblers making reinforced plate. Yeah, so it's a bit of a chore to get that right. And that's just for each. If I had Mark 1 miners on all of these, it would be 4.5 assemblers making reinforced plate, and like 6.75 constructors making screws, 6.75 constructors making plates, and then 4.5 constructors making rods for the screws. So it's like there's just some odd numbers going on. Don't know if I want to deal with that or not. We're still working that out. Trying to figure out what exactly I want to do in this situation. If I double everything, that's fine, but the constructors making screws and the constructors making plates will still end up being a decimal place. It'll be half that's being used. And this is fairly large. So I could do like separate buildings that each produce everything I need. Which is kind of what I was doing with these, where each floor is a section of the process. So we have this bottom floor here, which produces a portion, or produces our iron ingots, and then it goes up and gets processed until the top level, where it gets processed into the final item. If I did that for this modular frame build, I mean, we're looking at massive build for assemblers. This has 4 assemblers on the top per section. You can tell I've got 4 sections here. This one here, hold on, we're skipping this song. We for this one here, we have 2 assemblers per each one. For the modular frames, we'd have 7.5. So 7.5 times 4. We have like 30 assemblers at the end of this all. So it's just a huge footprint. And we're trying to figure out the best way to kind of like start to handle that. The idea was that I would build up here. I would build a little like platform doohickey up here, and have this place be my modular frame production, and then have it come down with everything else. It may work, it may not work. We'll figure that out. But I don't know if that footprint is something that I want. I might just end up doing like separate buildings. So we do one building for smelters, right? And we have all the smelters working to get all the ingots that I need. And that way we can break it down into, okay, each quarter of the factory, because I'm going to break it down into quarters. We've got 3 nodes here. Each of them will have a Mark 1 miner on it to start. Those Mark 1 miners will be producing a quarter of our eventual production line, which is going to be Mark 3 miners, which is 4 times as much as a Mark 1 miner. So that's what we start with. We start with a quarter of our production line. So we would do enough smelters to provide enough ingots for a quarter of the production. And then we double that, and that, and that, and that. We just kind of do it like that, which could work. If we do that, then I might opt to do something like this, where I do the smelters and the miners all on one level. So we get like the miners on there, and then we build a little section here that would be able to accommodate all of the iron coming in. So if we do that, and this is kind of the process I'm going through. I'm just working through how I'm going to do this. I like the idea of doing this expandable build, and especially for modular frames, that's one of those things that's like mid-game-ish, mid-game adjacent, and I think it would be very good to have a expandable modular style build for that, that I can just build a quarter of it, and then all I have to do is duplicate that exact thing. Don't know if that's going to work for this. I may have to do different sections. So like I said, a section for processing ore, a section for processing the ingots, and a section for processing the rest of it. Okay. So if we did a screw constructor, that's rods, right? Okay, so rods is 4.5 of these, which means 15 times 4.5. 67.5 ingots for that. 67.5 ingots for that. Plus plate, 6.75 plate, which I believe the output is, its input is 30. So I'm going to do the same thing. 6.75 times 30, 202.5. And that is our total for all of it. So we'll add 67.5 to that. It's 270, which should be 90 each. I'm missing something. What am I missing? Oh, the 6. Yes. No. Because if I'm doing that, then I need 120. So that's just for reinforced plate. 270 is just for reinforced plate. And then I need the rods for the modular frame production as well. And I need 6 constructors making rods for the modular frame, because I need 90, which would give me, because it's a 1-to-1, it would be 90 plus 270, which actually does work out. 360 is 120 for each. Let's make sure. So we've got 67.5 plus 202.5 plus 90 is 360. Great. That works out. So we do 360. And then what we'll have to do is break down how it's transported in order to make it all even. So unfortunately, because there's weird odd numbers for the number of buildings I need to accommodate, I think I'm going to have to do overflow protection. If I'm doing an overflow style from the smelters, then I can guarantee that it's going to provide enough for each of the buildings that are in succession down the line. So I'm not concerned about that. I just need to get enough smelters to process 360, which means 12 smelters. Now, oh, not 47. Oh, it's not going to work like that. 12 times 4. 48 smelters in total. So to process all of the ore here for what I need, I'm going to need 48 smelters, which is not the best. I'm not looking forward to that. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. We are going to start clearing out some of this stuff. I think I can leave that. I'm trying to leave as much vegetation as I can, unless it actually gets in my way, at which point I can take care of it. But until that point, I'm going to leave as much as I can going. Oh, that is finished. Wait, that's going to leave. Yeah, great. Gonna get rid of this. And get rid of this. And I'm sure that this is filling up by now. Yeah. At some point, I'm going to have to stop dumping stuff in there. And this one. Cool. So for this one, I'm going to build from the ground up. That's what I do usually for the first sections. For most of this stuff is build from the ground up. I'm going to just place a miner on here to help me remember that's where that is. And yeah, I think the level that this is at is actually going to work for this. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's Maybelline. No, it doesn't. So it's too high, which is fine. I do want it all on the same grid, though. So I'm going to see if one lower will let it work. Oh, that did work. Just for my own sanity. No, alright, cool. So it's too far away. Boom. Alright. That works. One below for that. Then we'll do this. down. See if that's low enough. Nope. Bring it down again. See if that's low enough. Yes. Swell. Just gonna do a quick 3x3 grid for this. Yeah, so I definitely want it clear. I want to be able to go, like if I wanted to drive an Explorer, for instance, through this area, from here down through here, I want to make sure that this is clear enough that I can do that. Which it looks like I will be able to, but I'd have to keep this stuff off the side here. 12 smelters. Each one of these would go centered. Well, obviously not like that, but it would go like centered up like that. So to do that, I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's 1, 2, 3, 7. So I need 13 wide to accommodate. Now, 12 of these producing 30 is 360. I currently don't have a belt that can accommodate that amount of items per minute. So I would need to unlock Mark IV, which isn't feasible right now because I don't have it available. All right. Curious. How do I make? Can I make this full screen? Huh. Oh, there it is. Boom. Now I should be able to do this. There it is. All right, I'll be back. All right. And we are back. Let's check that out. All right. So I was trying to figure out how to get 12. And that would take, I think it was 13. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Or it would need to be 13 this way, with accommodations made for width. So it needs to be at least 2. In order to do that, we've got... Now that technically will work. We would just need to build a wall there. Nope. Alright. That's like right on the edge there. It's pretty nice. Alright, so I could do 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could definitely accommodate that there. But if we came out this way, let's see how far out we would go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's far out. Woof. Big woof. Now, I could do stacks, right? So I could do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if I did 7, that would still come out this way. Then I could stack them on top of each other, so we could do smelters. 1 down there, and then 1 on top. And that would be like my smelter deal, which could work fairly well. I mean, that wouldn't be too bad. But I don't know what the best options are for that. If I did that, then I would need 4 levels of that. I did 1, 2, 3. Right, 1, 2, 3, and the other one would be here, 4. That would start to conflict with that. I think if we started it here, that might be the furthest we could go in this direction. Or maybe like here. Let's see what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Came down here. Imagine that this goes up. All right. Drive in an Explorer or something. I don't know, man. That's a bit tight. IMO, that's a bit tight. Looks like we would have room here. We can come back a little bit. Just barely. And it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be the footprint in order to accommodate all of our smelters. And this is all of our smelters for like ×4 production, so for Mark III. So for my final production lines. Then we could drive down here, and we could come around this way. I mean, it's not ideal. Oh, wait. Nope. Psych. Oh my god. Just having one space here is not going to be enough. We need like 2 to make it work. Question. Nope. I will not be able to do that. Oh my gosh. Could raise it up. And then that way I wouldn't need to worry so much about that if it's higher in the air. That way I can have vertical clearance. We can have it drive underneath easy peasy. If we did that, I probably want it to be like... another 4 meters up. Like that. Yeah. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Damn it. Every time. Alright. Well, that will definitely leave room to go underneath. Now I just need to get some structural stuff there. Make it look like it's not just floating. That's easy. Alright. Then we would have... These would actually turn out to be looking this way. Wow, that really does work out. That's super nice. Smelters. We actually will be needing... What is it? We've got 12 per level. That's 4. 48 of them. And we can get rid of these. Alright. so alright, I think I may need to adjust it anyway, because upgrading this like crazy is not going to work. If we've got 240, 480, I can't have 1440 on one line. I can't do it. So it would need to be done in a different way. Well, 1440. I guess 480, I'd be able to do 480. If all of it's divided by 3, then in theory I could just do because 12 is 360, right? $720. So that's double, right? So each one, I mean, that's what I did with these other ones, and it worked. Each one of these is, so it's 3 going into one of these. So if I then doubled it, I would just have, yeah, so it would be a splitter down here, so it would be 480, or let's say 120 is our original starting point, right? 120 coming out, and that's coming up and going into these, right? Because 4 of them would be able to do that. And then, oh shoot, what is it, 120 times 3? Yeah. So we would have to go, we'd have to have splitters at each one of these, right? 4 splitters here. They would all have to come from one direction. And that's where it gets a little bit spicy. Because we need splitter lines from this one splitting out this way. We need splitter lines from that one splitting out that way, and that one splitting out that way. Because the thing is, what we can't have is all of these 3 merging onto one line. We can't have the 3 on a bus line, because eventually it's going to be up at like 1440 per minute, and that is not sustainable on a single bus line. So it needs to be a single output that's divided nicely into all of these, or at least from each one needs to be split and then merged in. So what we could do, oh, that could work, is we do, because these have spaces between them, we could do splitters, right? And then we could have a merger between. So we do something like this, where we have it coming in here, right? So we have this one, say, going in here, and it's split, or it gets split out to 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then another one gets merged in right here. So 120, right? 30, 60, 90, 120. And then another one gets merged in. And so we have this one here, prioritizing, or we just have smart splitters, and we have overflows on each one of these. Because by the time we have this set up, where it's dumping more, okay, if we did that, we would have this going in here with overflows going into each one of these. They would overflow into this merger, which would merge in another one, and we would have overflows for the 4 that are here. And then another merger and overflows for the next 4. Do we need overflow protection? I mean, what would be nice is having the priority, right? So it comes in, unless we did it where each one of these is only, okay, so right now we have this, right? And that's outputting 120 per minute. Yay, 120 per minute divides into 34 times. So we could do something where we have this services these 4, and then when I make that a Mark II, then it would service these 8, right? And then when it's a Mark III, then it services these 12 in like this square here. Then the next miner services these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so yeah, these 8 or these 4 here, right? So we've got this merger here, and then we do splitters, and we split off to these 4, or it would be to 4 stacked. Oh wait, no, we want it to be. Okay. So if we did it this way, then we would have this one that would come in here, and it would split like right there, right? It's split right there, and it would feed these 4. And then it could then continue and feed these 4, and these 4, which would give us 16. Because it's stacks of 4. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's 16. And yeah, 480. Because when it's on the it's a Mark III miner, it's going to be mining 480. Yeah. So 16 for that. And then it's 16 times 3, which is 48. Yeah. Okay. And then we stack those on top. Okay, so we do this splits here. Takes care of these 3. And then we've got 1 that comes up, splits into these 1, 2, and then it goes up to do the other 2. And then we have the third one, which will come back this way, and it will do the same thing, just at the top level. Yeah. So eventually, what'll happen is each one of these will like feed 4, and it'll just be 4 in this row, right? So this row here, which is going to be double stacked, so we'll have 6 on the bottom, 6 on the top, will be totally fed by Mark I miners, and it'll only be this row. Then when we upgrade it, then we split off from this row here into the next row. So what happens is these 4, right, would then split into 8 so that we could accommodate a Mark II miner. And so then this row and the one on top, when it's built, will be accommodated. And then that's the same thing again. It'll split again and go there. So we would need a splitter here, and then a splitter here, and then a splitter here. And just so I'm sure that was incorrect, I actually want it there. Yep, yep. And then one more. Split and split. All right. Yeah, I actually have to go. I just remembered something. I'm gonna go ahead and save it up, and yeah, gonna drop out for just a second. I'll be back, but it's gonna be too long for me to continue the stream, so I'm gonna end the stream now. But thank you to whoever viewed, and we'll see you guys later.